Hi Abhijit, how are you?
Yeah, hi, I'm good. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So Abhijit, many congratulations to you that you have got a good job opportunity, and I'm thankful to you that you have approached our channel to share your success story, and many people will be motivated with this story. Can
Yeah,
you tell
thank
us?
you.
Yeah, that's great news. So can you tell us something about yourself first? How many years of
Yeah,
experience you have? Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I have total 6 years of experience and it's totally into software quality assurance. And I have around 3.5 years of experience into the automation testing as well. So currently I'm working with a MNC bank, which is the product based organization. And this was my second organization. I'm working there from the last 3 years actually.
Right.
So yeah, but basically, if we go back to my major skills, like they are into functional testing, automation testing with respect to Selenium WebDriver with Java. Also, I have 2 years of experience in API testing as well with REST Assured and Postman as well.
Okay, great. Okay. So, in which company you have got the job opportunity and how many offers did you get?
Yeah. So like I gave 9 interviews. So most of the interviews were happen parallelly only because like today one interview, another day one interview, and out of that 9 interview, I got 6 offers, and two of them are product based company. One is like, can I reveal
Sure, sure.
names?
You can reveal the names.
Okay. So I got two product based company which are Celigo and FedEx. Others I got from Cognizant, Wipro, and UST Global and Nagaro as well.
Okay, great. So, can you tell us about the technical rounds and how was the interview process in
Okay.
that? Yeah, in
Yeah.
detail.
So like, yeah, yeah. So what I observed, like out of the 6 offers which I got, two were from product-based organizations. So I observed the difference between the interview process uh, between the service-based organization and product-based organization. If I come to like Cognizant and Wipro, they conducted like screening. Like first they asked me like about my relevant skills to the profile. Then my technical interview was scheduled. For Cognizant and Wipro, it were two technical rounds. Then third was the HR discussion, and the interview level which I would say means I felt on a moderate level, like it was not very tough and it was not very easy also, but I think if you are well prepared and if you have the skill set which has been prescribed into the job description, one should be easily able to crack them. But for FedEx and Celigo, there were four technical rounds and last one was the HR discussion. Yeah. So this was the difference which I asked. If you want to ask me in details, like I will start with the FedEx first. So
Right.
when I got the call from them, like they told me like first will be the technical interview with the senior QA members. Then second was the technical interview with the technical manager, and third was kind of managerial round, and fourth one was the HR discussion. So we can I can say that it were the three round. So in the first round for FedEx, like it was 1 hour interview, and basically the first question in every interview was like, please introduce yourself. What are your roles and responsibilities? So this is on the basic level. Since I was having the 3 years of experience in the automation, then most the focus from the interview panel was on the automation framework, like from the design perspective, like how many framework like you have designed, do you have any experience in mobile automation as well? Even though I was not having any experience in mobile automation, but still at least what are the basic ideas which I was having, those questions were asked. If I start with the questions, like somewhere the straightforward basic questions like difference between different weights, what are the different weight in Selenium, and then uh, with respect to framework, what is the design pattern you have used? Have you implemented this framework from the scratch, or you have developed it with the help from someone? So these are the basic framework. Then how are you manage the reporting in your automation framework? Have you any
Right.
experience in CI/CD? So like the questions were related to these all the aspect, like starting from the functional testing, which is related to test plan, RTM, then moving to programming language also. With respect to Java, I was asked to write couple of programs like string reversal, and one more program was there for star pattern,
Okay.
and I was able to solve this string reverser question, but the start pattern I was not able to generate the output as expected. I got the output, but not as expected. So what I observed is like, even though if the interviewer is asking us the 10 question, it is not necessary we should be able to answer all the 10 questions correctly. Even if you're answering 8 or 7, 8 or 9 questions, that is also fair enough. If you are able to just justify the algorithm or the flowchart, like how we are supposed to implement this program or how we are going to find a solution, that is all there, that will also work. So in the first interview it was not majorly into the deep, I would say technical, but all the areas were touched, like kind of API testing also, like how will you test the APIs, and what do you feel about the testing? Do you know any idea about test pyramid? So certain questions were asked in all the aspects regarding functional testing, automation testing, API testing, some kind of DB validations as well. If you have any experience in desktop automation as well, do you have any experience in non-functional testing as well? Even though I was not having any experience, but they just wanted to know like, are we aware of it not? So these are the questions, but it was very basic. I won't say like it was very difficult. But first round with the FedEx was like on a moderate level. But on the second round, it was a quite a technical level because my interview was with the US team members. Those were already working in the project. So like they were more focused on automation framework. Like what are my contribution? What I have done for the framework. So the question were asked on that. Like if I said like hash map, so how you are used in your framework this hash map. So those are the questions. I don't remember the each and exact question, but I just remember the areas like which they covered. And regarding the many, they gave me one scenario also, like we have multiple tabs and there is one button on another tab. How can we scroll down to? Can you just write a simple script? I was asked to write a script on Notepad only, not in it. So yeah, there were pretty like couple of easy questions, then some moderate question, and then tough question also based on the framework also. Like, do you know any other design pattern apart from page object model or singleton pattern? Like, how will you use? Do you have any experience in scripting languages as well? So like those are the questions I was asked. I don't remember each and exact questions, but yeah. And in the third round, it was mostly situational based question, like the behavioral driven question. Like, tell me about a time where you faced challenges and how did you overcome it. Tell me about a time where you help your co-worker to succeed. Something similar to that. That multiple questions were asked, but these were not technical. Hardly one or two questions were technical, but in manager round I was asked like many these behavioral question. And what I found, like, if we have this, we can answer from our experience only, and this is not something single answer. It is different for every individual. That this is means for me, for myself the challenges may be different, and for other person the challenges might have been different. So like I we can answer in that fashion. So that was the thing. And in the fourth round, like it was simply HRD discussion only, like about my expectation, about company offering, what are the benefits company is providing. The same process was for Seligo also. Means difficult, difficulty level was moderate to difficult, I would say. But for other organization, which I would say Cognizant and Wipro, it was not that tough. The interview was for half an hour. I was asked like very basic questions like, could you please introduce about yourself? Then I was asked like the different weights in Selenium, which weight you are used, what is the difference between fluid weight and explicit weight. Then I was asked about some basic question about test ng, what are the different annotation, what is the priority. Then about how are you running your automation framework, how will you trigger the job in Jenkins, how you build any job on Jenkins, what is the difference between test plan and test strategy. Those were the questions, not very tough, but what I observed, like whatever was cover I had mentioned in my resume, the question were regarding that only, because I had mentioned BDD and Cucumber. So some basic question were asked on for BDD Cucumber also. So at least one question on each of the skill set which I have mentioned on the my resume, those were asked, that I would say. So I think like that it was there. And in the second round, it was for this Cognizant and Wipro. Both the second round was conducted by manager. It was like 50% technical and 50% managerial. So it was also the same for manager round. Yeah. So I think that are the thing. I don't remember each and exact question for this right now, because like
No
last interview
issues.
I gave was something. Yeah.
Right. You have given 9 interviews. It's so difficult to, recall each and everything. I
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
my example. I hardly remember what did I had dinner yesterday, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still you are able to, recall all those things. So
Yeah.
that's very helpful.
Yeah, but the question will be based on our resume only. That's what I observed. Like whatever you mentioned, they can ask anything. So I was aware of like what are my skill set, that only I had mentioned on my resume. So yes, that was possible.
Super. Okay. Now, coming to this resume thing, what do you think? What should be the proper length of the resume? Let's say some people tell
Correct.
one
Okay.
page, some people tell 3 pages.
Yeah, I think ideal should be 1 to 3 pages. Like I am having 6 years of experience, and this is my second organization. When first time I switched, it was 3 years before. So I was having, at that point of time, I was having 3 years of experience, and my resume was 3 page. So when I started my job search, I took the same resume. I found it as a 3 page resume. So I edited it. But somewhere I came across one resume which was 1 and 2 page And I really like that, because what I observed, like in my resume there was one section of summary. So what I had written, like having 3 years of experience with automation testing using Selenium WebDriver with Java. But here the important keywords were Selenium and Java. So I formatted it to one page. I mentioned the skill section. I just mentioned the keywords like Selenium, Java, BDD, TestNG, Maven, Gradle, instead of writing the single sentence for each one, having 3 years of experience in Maven, well versed with Java. So I followed that approach. I think anything is fine, but if someone is having 10 plus years of experience, for them, they must be having exposure in different tools and different technologies also. For them, the resume might have been 3 to 4 pages, but ideally, I would say 1 to 3 pages should be ideal. That's what my view. I'm also not sure, but my resume was 1 page only, because I worked only on 2 organizations and mostly on 2 projects only. So for me, it was sufficient to mention all those things into the single page.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, coming to this preparation, let's say if we have some interviews now,
correct.
generally the professionals, if we see, they have 9 to 9 job, 12 hours of
Yes,
job. We hardly get time.
yes,
Saturdays and
no,
Sundays also fly away like anything. So
yes,
how
yes,
did you dedicated your time for preparation? Let's say Selenium is there,
correct,
Java you
correct.
also have to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. So I will start. So like when I decided, actually my project was supposed to get decommissioned. So that was the time when I decided to plan for my job switch. But I was not doing daily automation testing. Means I was working as an individual, means as an individual contribution, but my role was doing functional testing also, API testing also, and automation testing also. But when I found, first I just research about like what are the areas which are expected from SDET or the senior quality engineer in the market. I found like more focus is on automation. So I decided first to just prepare myself at least to reach that level, at least to clear some basic. So when I started, I first started with the Java, even though I was aware, but still I started with the Java. I tried to implement some basic programs in my local, not in my office laptop, in my local laptop. I went through some blogs also. I watched some YouTube videos also. There are many channels. If someone wants to subscribe, we can subscribe, or if you want to follow any portal also like guru99.com or something like that, we can just follow. So I followed both of these approach, some YouTube tutorial also and blogs also. And I tried to implement myself. So I first covered the Java. Then I started with the Selenium, even though I was aware, but still I covered all the basic things because I know it will be from basics to like medium to higher level. So then I started with the Selenium. After the Selenium basic, I started with the TestNG, like what are the things in TestNG, like different annotations, what are the methods to run, grouping, assertion. So I covered the topics related to TestNG. Then I covered for Maven also. And after that, I just covered topics related to CI/CD and Jenkins part. I was also having some exposure to BDD Cucumber also. So I just covered basic data, not I would say high, but fully like strong. I have prepared for Selenium, Java, TestNG, and few Maven related to BDD and Jenkins. I just like covered very basic details. So like these are the sequence which I followed. And with related to API testing and manual testing, I was already aware, so I did not invested much time there, but I still tried to cover the basic difference like smoke and sanity. Even though this is basic, but I think this was asked in every interview. Sometimes we just get get confused like what is sanity, what is smoke. So this is the time. For me, it took like 2 to 3 months. You said which is right, like we have 9 hours of work. So what I found, like currently when I started my job search, it was work from home only. So I was available at my home only. So I was getting a time. So after I just allocated at least 2 hours daily for my preparation. Once my office was over, daily 2 hours I invested time. Like I used to either watch some YouTube videos, blogs, or either practice in my laptop. But daily 2 hours. If
Really good.
not, then either on Saturday or on Sunday, at least one day, 6 to 4 5 hours, I was practicing daily. But it took me 2 months to get prepared. So once I got prepared, I prepared my resume, updated on the portal, and I started giving the interviews. So in the initial 2 interviews, I got rejection in the first one only because I found that most of the emphasis is on the programming, like what is the Java programming. I was asked to write the program onto the notepad. I made some mistakes, like I forgot semicolon like that. So I found like there are a couple of areas which I need to improve. Then I
Mm.
prepared. I took some 3 to 4 days break. I prepared, and again I started giving fresh interviews, and then I got positive results.
Right. So you took rejection of the interviews in a positive manner.
Positive, yeah,
You didn't get demotivated. You rather learned from your mistakes and you upgraded yourself. So that was a
yeah.
very
So
good thing.
correct, correct. Yeah, that is the thing. I would recommend to everyone, like we should not get demotivated. Even if we are getting rejected, like that is beneficial for us only, because we are getting a chance to know where we are lacking, so we can focus on that area, we can prepare for that area. For me, I found like little bit I need to emphasize on my programming skills. One was also like we need to answer some questions on like structured way. Like knowing is one thing, but being able to express it is also another thing. So even though I was knowing, I should be able to express it in a positive way. So that I found my couple of areas of improvement. So yeah.
Perfect. Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, many a times, we get some questions like, should I prepare SQL or database testing? Or let's say if I haven't worked on
Right.
performance testing, should I
Yes.
include those things? So, what is your piece of advice to this
Okay.
subscribers?
Okay, yeah. So I was not having any experience in performance testing, though I was knowing like what are the tools like JMeter are used, but I was not having active experience, like hands-on experience. And I was this question was asked to me in couple of interviews, so I can answer it. So I would say like first we should focus like what are our interest. If we are into mostly into the functional testing where someone is knowing like manual testing and automation testing, maybe some using Selenium tool. If you are having the experience between 0 to 3 years, no one will expect to have like experience in performance testing also or DB testing also. But as our experience increases, the expectation also increases. Like one should be have experience in performance testing also, or some experience in team handling also. So these are the areas. So at least we should have the main experience in our core areas, that is functional testing. And even though we are not having any experience in non-functional testing, that is performance testing, we should be just having the basic idea like for what kind this non-functional testing is required and what are the tools and how it is performed. At least basic knowledge if you are knowing, that is fine, because the question was asked to me, so I was able to justify like what are the different types of performance testing, sorry, non-functional testing, like performance, trace. So I was able to answer like what are the tools, app dynamic, JMeter. Even if we know the basic details, it will work. Like no one will expect that you should know all the technology thoroughly. At least we should know couple of technologies thoroughly, and we should have basic idea. That's what I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's
Yeah.
a very quite good information you have shared with us and with the other people as well who would be watching this video once this would be uploaded on our
Mhm.
channel. Okay. So
Sure.
thank you so much, Abhijit, for coming over here. And
Yeah.
from our channel and the entire team, we wish you congratulations for the career,
Yeah.
as well as we recently came to
Thank
know
you
that
very
you
much.
got married. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
congratulations for that and hats off to you that after your marriage, you have quickly come for this sharing your success story. So
Yes.
thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
completely our pleasure to have
Yeah.
you on the channel. Right.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me also for the call, and keep doing the great work. This really helps the lot of candidates. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. Anything else you would like to share with us?
No, I would just say like whatever when you start your job search journey, just don't get over prepared. Like sometimes like people will say, hey, for SDET role or this role, like we should know manual testing also, API testing also, UI testing also, mobile testing also, database testing also. So people will say a lot of things. So I would just say just prepare well on your core skills, like whatever you are working on, and start giving the interviews. Even if you are getting rejected, just try and try to analyze like what are the areas you are lacking, try to get to know the reason like why you got rejected, and just try to work on it. You will get 100% positive result. That's what I would recommend to everyone.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is absolutely. I also agree with it. See,
Yeah.
if a person is having 5 to 6 years of experience, he hardly gets opportunity to uh, do hands-on practice on each and every tools or technology,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Once
Correct.
we get that senior kind of managerial kind of experience, like 10 to
Yes.
12 years, then we can
Yeah.
understand, okay, functional automation, apart from that security performance also, yes, worked on. But
Correct. That is
first of all, we should be very focused on the areas that we have mentioned in the CV itself, because that will
resume.
reflect
Yes.
how much understanding or what knowledge we are going to have.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that is there. Okay, then anything else, Abhijit, from your end?
Yeah. That's it from my side.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Abhijit, once again for coming to the
Yeah.
channel and sharing your success story and all the best for your career. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you, Rivet. Yeah. Thank you. Keep
Yeah.
doing the great work. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.